the voice inside my head on my best day. You are the voice I need to turn the volume up all the way up. When you said I'm Dami, a fourth year PhD at Girton. I'm currently doing my PhD in education, looking at the experiences of Black women at Cambridge and Oxford. So in my project, I'm using critical poetic inquiry to outline and explore the experiences of Black women studying at Oxbridge. So essentially collecting data points through archival research and narrative production, and writing poems based upon those data points, and then exploring and analysing my poetry in my discussions and findings. My journey of applying for a PhD at Cambridge looked like a heck of a lot of back and forth. I knew that I wanted to come to Cambridge, but then when I got my master's grades and I got a merit and not a distinction, I cried for like 2 hours straight. I was just absolutely distraught. And I was like, forget it, I can't even get into Cambridge, I'm not gonna go. I literally had booked the open day and then I just didn't come because I was like, forget it, I'm not gonna get in. And I was pretty decided on the fact that I was just not going to pursue the PhD at Cambridge anymore. Maybe I could explore other options, or maybe I just needed to venture into the corporate world and stop trying to hang on to student life. But then my friend gave me a copy of Taking Up Space. This was in 2019. And I remember reading it, and it was literally the line that I opened up my kind of statement of intent with in my application, that spoke about how all too often Black women are scared of venturing into higher education institutions out of fear of not seeing enough people that look like them. And somehow it just stirred something in me and in my spirit. And I was just like, you know what? I'm tired of this rubbish. We need to be represented. We need to be seen. And so I'm going to go so that people can see me go and be inspired to do the same thing. I basically reached out to Tyler, who's currently my supervisor, with like a draft proposal because I'd kind of been working on it, but I had parked it. So I just edited it, refined it, reached out to my potential supervisor, like, hey, I would like to, come to Cambridge. You seem like a cool supervisor, like your work, blah, blah, blah. We scheduled a meetup. So we met up in February and just had a chat in his office, which was really awesome. And he gave me some feedback on the proposal, and that really helped me to understand the way that he works. And from there I was like, yeah, I want this guy. And yeah, then he was like, yeah, go for it, submit the application. I applied and had an interview in April. Yeah, applied at the end of March, had an interview in April. Didn't hear anything until June, and he emailed me and he was like, I'm so sorry, there's loads of COVID delays. And I was like, it's okay. And then I got my offer in July. Before that, I had actually contacted the sociology department because I have a sociological background, and yeah, I wanted to do my PhD in sociology because I see myself as a sociologist. But then the guy that I wanted to supervise me in sociology was like, I think you'll be better off in education. So then I was like, oh, okay. And then I went to education and found Tyler. So yeah, so in terms of developing the proposal, I basically just did research around what a good research proposal looks like, how to develop one. I kind of had a bit of research background from some research assistant work I'd done before, so I was able to use that to kind of develop a strong proposal. But Tyler also helped me to refine it before my final submission. And then as part of the application documents, I think there was it's not like a straight CV upload, because with the Cambridge portal, you basically enter all of the information rather than, say, just uploading a personal statement and CV. So a few questions to answer in the application portal that was effectively building a CV and personal statement. So writing those, submitted the application, and then was invited for interview by Tyler shortly after. Had the interview. Interview was pretty chill, to be honest, because we'd already met and spoken. I didn't kind of go into it with too many nerves or pressure. It was just like a conversation about the project, exploring it in a bit more detail. Well, I'm just gonna... So can you hear that? It's just the violin. It's quite small. It's just the violin I'm playing for myself because I started during the pandemic and it was really sad, to be honest with you. I didn't get like a full matriculation experience. As in my room, it honestly was like, I feel like what they did to us was so wrong because they made us move to Cambridge in October of 2020, knowing we could not go outside. So then we were literally confined to our room. We were confined to our rooms for like the whole of Michaelmas, which is the first term. Went home for Christmas, and then they were basically like, oh yeah, you guys can't go back. So then it was just, yeah, all of that was, it was a lot for me personally, because I'm like, you've taken me away from my friends and family and now you won't even let me outside. So that was challenging in terms of socializing and making friends. I was literally at the faculty earlier and there was someone who started at the same time as me and we were like, oh my gosh, we've never met because we barely know each other. So that was a bit of a challenge, to be honest with you. I think it sort of, I guess, put some distance between me and the university, but it also meant that the PhD fit more around my life than my life fitting around the PhD. So I guess in some ways it worked. I think the best part is like really finding your intellectual community. I honestly can say nothing beats like having friends that you can have like intellectual conversation with, but also just like laugh about absolute nonsense at the same time. I really just love kind of finding my intellectual community, but also my academic voice. And I think for me as well, being encouraged by my supervisor to fuse my creativity and poetry with my academic research has just been amazing. And I just love the process of communicating academic concepts through poems because I've been writing poetry for literally since I was a child, basically my whole life. But I've never thought about it as like a mode of academic speaking or communication or writing, but now I literally write poems in my PhD, so that's really awesome. It's the magic question. I actually... I'm actually so sorry. I know this is not what you were expecting when you asked me to do. Okay, so I have options. As I think I've kind of alluded to, I'm quite multifaceted. I do a lot of things, and I'm one of those people who's capable of doing, like, I have a lot of tracks I could go down. So I'm kind of set up for like a post-graduation corporate job, which I'm likely to take right now. But like ultimately my overarching goal has always been and still is to work towards professorship. So at some point I'm gonna, I don't know, I definitely actually believe that I can do corporate and academia at the same time, genuinely, although there's not really a model for that right now. And there's no one that I'm like, oh yeah, she's done that. So it's kind of hard, but I basically want to do corporate and academia at the same time and work towards being a professor while also shaping and dominating my space in the corporate world. My top tip is to be yourself. You cannot afford to apply to a PhD as someone else. You have to apply as you are and bring all of who you are to your project, because that is what will make it unique. And that is what will make you shine when it comes to funding applications, when it comes to admission selections. It's the fact that you're you, because no one else is, right? So that would be my advice, is to bring your whole self and bring it unashamed. As I said, I have my website. But my SEO is terrible, so if you Google my name, you probably won't find me, unless by the time this is released, some SEO expert has helped somehow. But go on my LinkedIn profile and you'll see the Demystifying Doctorate series of posts, which is very inconsistent but very helpful. so check that out, and I'll also at some point in life link my website to my LinkedIn. So yeah, head over there. Feel free. When is this going out?
This year.
We know it's this year. That's fine.
Let's say Easter.
Easter. They might miss the AIM PhD then. It's gonna plug that.
It will come around another year.
Yeah. Check out the AIM PhD mentorship program that is on offer from the University of Cambridge, currently being pilot in the 2024/5 academic year. Is that how it works? No, it's 2023/4. Yeah?
Yeah, that's this year.
That's this year, yeah. So it's being pilot now for next year, but it will come back again. So check it out, because PhD mentorship is something I think a lot of people can benefit from. I personally didn't have that privilege. However, if you're able to go through the application process, being coached and walked through by someone who has gone through it already, who knows the system, you will have a lot more success. And there's a whole industry dominated by the white middle class, charging people and their parents £10,000 plus to get into Oxbridge. So you can get that information and resource for free. Why not grab it with two hands? We need you.